Devil's knocking at my door when I'm broken and I'm battle worn. Down in the valley on my knees. Yeah, she's with me. Ain't she amazing, amazing? Out of my league, and ain't it crazy, crazy? She happened to me. She calls me baby, baby. Hard to believe that she's with me. When my dreams are running out of road and the world around me's turning cold, anyone else would up and leave, but she's with me. Ain't she amazing, amazing? Out of my league, and ain't it crazy, crazy? She happened to me. She calls me baby, baby. Hard to believe that she's with me. Top of the mountain, all the way down. When I'm lost and when I'm found. In the day, in the light, in the dark, in the night, when it all goes wrong.
I don't know how to talk to somebody that's not there. Hi, my name is Michaela and I am an independent author. I also love to read. I like to call myself a writer by day and a reader by night. I write full time. I currently have a young adult romantasy out in the world and a young adult fantasy short story collection out into the world. I'm working on edits for my second YA romantasy book right now, and I just started while I was on vacation, which you just saw clips of, a new adult, potentially, romance book. Reading wise, I'll read anything. I thought we could do a little July reading wrap up and we'll go from there. I finished 6 books in the month of July. I also DNF'd one, currently beta reading for a friend. Let's get into what I did read during the month of July. First, I read One Golden Summer by Carley. I really loved Every Summer After, so I was a little bit nervous to pick up One Golden Summer because sometimes I just feel like sequels aren't necessary. And as far as Charlie's character goes, I didn't particularly care too much about what he was doing post ESA, but I really loved One Golden Summer. I read it for my book club here in town. Shout out Indie Book and Slip Club. I ended up really enjoying it. This one is called Bloodworthy by Abby Moore. It follows Serena in a fantasy with trials and a little bit of a love triangle, kingdom, royalty-esque setting. The premise essentially is Serena has more powers than anyone else in her kingdom and she has to keep that a secret, but then she's picked to be part of the king's trials. Would really recommend. You can find it on Kindle Unlimited, or you can find Abby.
If I can figure out how to add text on these videos, I'll add Abby's TikTok at somewhere. Okay, we're doing this for the first time together, so.
Anyway, really enjoyed it. It's Not Summer Without You and We'll Always Have Summer by Jenny Han. They're okay. Would recommend if you're a fan of the TV show, but if you don't really like teen romance books, then I would probably say pass. Another book that I read in July while I was on vacation was Metal Slinger by Rachel Schneider. Let me tell you, I rated this one 5 stars. I don't care that parts of it are impractical. It kept my attention. It was fast paced. I was rooting for the main character the whole time. She indie published this. It went big. She got picked up trad. We don't have a release date for book 2 yet, but I will be watching because I'm gonna need to know what happens next. Highly recommend Metal Slinger. The last book I read in July and while I was on vacation is Our Infinite Fates by Laura Stephen. First of all, this is a gorgeous book, which is why I picked it up in the first place. This one, I heard tons of good things and it was a super pretty book, so I picked it up without really knowing anything about it. I really enjoyed this one. It ended up being like a high 3, low 4 for me, simply just because I found that when I ended, it felt like something was missing. I just can't tell you exactly what. I honestly think this book could have been a little bit longer and I would have been okay with that. And I almost wish we would have gotten more closure with the couple towards the end, there were parts of it that just felt like a little too easy, but overall I really enjoyed the concept and I did really like this book. Then as honorable mentions, I did just want to say I started a couple other books on my Kindle while I was on vacation. I haven't finished them yet, but I'm going to. The first one is Until Now by Jensen Parker, also an indie author, but she's an Indianapolis indie author, so indie author. One of my friends, she writes romance, so this is the first book in her Strangers series. I think it's her debut novel. I'm not 100% positive on that. I think that it is though. So I'm about 40% of the way on Until Now. And then the other book that I started was also by an indie author. Her name is H.J. Nicols, and she wrote The Lost Deer Queen. That one is a fantasy with a lot of mental health threat. I'm really enjoying that one. I am 50% of the way on that one. So that is everything that I read in the month of July. I'm really looking forward to reading more in August. Another thing that I will be doing in August is finishing editing my book 2 of my romantasy duology. It is called The Dagger's Tide. Writing it at the end of June, and then it's been with my beta readers all of July. So I'm excited to start reading their comments, to dive back into editing and see how much better I can already make this book. Thanks so much for watching this YouTube video.
If I can, I'll put my Instagram and TikTok apps or links or whatever, somewhere. You'll find them, I trust you. And I will get used to this YouTube thing, and we will just learn and grow together.
So nice to meet you. What? Thanks for being here. I really appreciate you watching this. Love ya.